Hi, welcome. I'm Cheryl Andrews. I'm the Strength and Solution Detective, and this is a video to tell you about a program that I'm so excited about. It's starting at 1 o'clock on the 11th of January. It will be recorded, so if you hear about it a few days in, please feel free to come and join us, because we can send you the recording. We can support you to catch up via the Facebook group and give you the emails that are coming out each day to get you motivated. So why do I want you to come along to this? Well, this is my baby. I'm Cheryl Andrews, and I've been writing a book, and I've been supported by Karen Williams, the book mentor from Libertas, and she has been helping me to unravel my thoughts and helping me to get them into order, and really to have the courage to go out there and tell people what it is I know. And so the book's all about how I became the Strength and Solution Detective, and about my passion and purpose to conquer sensitivity to criticism. So this program is called Manage Your Critic, and it's 21 days of sharing the processes and systems that I'm writing about currently in my book. But why are Karen and I partnering? Well, two reasons. One, as I was listening to Karen, and Karen was a client of mine when she was writing her very first book a number of years ago, because she's now written 4. And we were speaking again recently. And we recognise that some of the people that perhaps don't go and get around to writing their book, they've been saying for years they're going to do it, but there is that fear of maybe they're worried about. I know for me, for example, one of the things I was really worried about upsetting my family, because I had quite a lot of drama going on, and I had lots of stories about how sensitive or insensitive I felt certain members of the family had been over my childhood. And actually what I want to say to you is that in the process of writing the book, using my own Manage Your Critic toolkit, what I've actually been able to do is get to a point where I have such a fantastic relationship with my family that there is no drama about it anymore. It simply is something that happened, and I've learned from it, and I really value that lesson. So I don't have any fears now about upsetting anybody in the family, and so I can step up and put it out there. And for other people, you might have, people that you don't want to upset, or people you don't want to be disapproving of you, and so it takes courage. And the whole book writing process took me on a journey where I had to really start to think about, can I afford not to tell this message? And one of the things that was a turning point for me was about 18 months ago, I was quite poorly, and I was in and out having some tests done at hospitals. And my mum died of cancer, and so did my auntie. And my imagination, probably my critic, got carried away with joining up all the dots, and I kind of decided in my head that I probably had cancer. I probably had cervical cancer, and that this was going to be it. And I remember saying to Mark, well, if this is it, I'm going to have to get you to get videos, we're going to have to get audios, we're going to need to record everything that I've learned about conquering sensitivity to criticism. I said, because currently our children have been around me while I'm still being sensitive to criticism, and they've learnt my bad behaviours, and I won't have been able to tell them my good ones, and I don't want to die without them knowing. So that was my driver. That's when I went, do you know what, even if I only write this book for my children, those two people in my life, I want them to know how to conquer sensitivity to criticism. Because the reality is, when you conquer it, it's not about not caring what people think, because you do want people's opinions. And it doesn't mean I don't get upset sometimes when I suddenly find I've been a bit of a numpty and I've upset somebody and I've hurt someone's feelings. I am still human, but it doesn't destroy me like it used to. If people told me I'd done something wrong, it used to feel physically like I'd been kicked in the stomach, and I would spend hours, days, weeks, even months talking over that same story. So you might relate to that right now. If you're finding in your life you've got a certain thing or a certain problem or a sort of person, every single person you can get the opportunity to, you talk to them about it. And you've now reached the point where you are sick of talking about it. You may have even gone and got external help, and it just didn't work. You were talking over and over again, and you are sick and tired of that story, and you want to be able to tell a different story. Then Manage Your Critic will help you understand why that's happening and what you can do about it. And so where we saw the synergy with Karen is that if you've got a critic going on, you might not write your story. But also part of the clarity process that I'm going to share with you is the 7th step. It is all about your whole story is really, really important. And if you haven't been able to tell the whole story to somebody, often that is the thing that is stopping you from gaining clarity. And your story really matters. So you might find with your story that you might have somebody at work that you talk to about your work problems, Maybe you talk to your partner about your children's problems. Maybe you talk to your best friend about your partner and the problems you have there. But who do you talk to about the whole thing? Because one of the things that can happen when we have these compartmentalized conversations and we don't piece together the whole story is that we end up putting things away in boxes. So you might say, you know, I finished work, I've shut work off, and you put work in a box. But then what happens is you don't bring your strengths from work to home. So I've coached a number of people over the years where they're really good at organising things, or really good at planning things, or really good at motivating people at work. And then they get, their critic is like going, well, I can do it at work, why can't I do it at home? And it's because they had this process of boxing things up and switching work off. And what they didn't realise is they switched off all those skills and left them at work and hadn't realised they could consciously move those over to use them in the work at the home, in home. And the same would happen the other way around. I'd have people who were struggling to motivate a team, and yet they had a really happy, content home life, and they were able to motivate and manage their family without any problem. And again, they kind of boxed that away and put it down to home. And so when we looked at how they motivated at home, they could transfer it over. So sometimes you have these like weird processes that you have with your brain. You've boxed things off and you've packaged it up, and it works. It's a real strength, and it's a real strategy that's really, really useful. But there will be times when it shows up as a challenge. And my job is to help you to gain clarity of what you want, and then the confidence to make it happen. And so what's really exciting about this particular video or the particular program is that I'm going to be sharing with you one of the tools that absolutely, or two fundamental tools. One is the process clean language, and how the questioning technique helped me get clarity of my own thinking and gave me more confidence in my story, and it's helped me to map out how I do me. It's given me the detail I need to get into my own book. And then Wealth Dynamics, which is a business development tool that I signed up for and became a consultant, a flow consultant in September last year. Now, I'd heard about it when I first set my business up 7 years ago, and I kind of got that they were sort of saying what profiles were. And I thought when I was listening, oh yeah, I kind of know that I'm that. But I'd never actually signed up and got the business development tool. And I don't know what sparked it off or what was said, but something triggered in July, August last year. And I'd heard about the Fast Forward Your Business conference. I signed up and I got my free Wealth Dynamics tool. And I was so blown away by it sort of made sense of everything I'd learned in terms of the communication, managing a critic. And this just made a very quick, easy way for, you know, you do 25 questions and you go, oh, that's why it's not been working. So if you are in business right now and you're working really hard and you're just not breaking through the glass ceiling, you keep getting to a certain point where you get so busy you can't take any more, and then you get back down again and you end up with, you know, not enough money to pay the bills, and you sort of keep getting stuck. You sort of like feel like you're hitting your head against that glass ceiling and keep bouncing back down to the bottom. Then I really want to share this tool with you, because it will make such sense of why you haven't been able to find your pathway to wealth, health and happiness. And this tool also, for me, made it much clearer and much easier about who you need to ask for support if you want to take your business or your family or your relationships to the next level. And that's where it came in for Karen and I as well. We'd seen some synergy, that her clients needed to manage their critic to write a book, and that my clients could learn to manage their critic more effectively through the process of writing a book. And so we brought the thing together. So we had a common why, that we both wanted this thing about getting stories out. But also because Karen is a creator on the Wealth Dynamics profile tool and I'm a supporter, we actually complemented each other really well, because my motivational tools about selling, marketing, I love motivating people. That's where my energy is. I'm actually a supporter. I'm not a star, which is what I thought I might have been. And Karen is just fab at creating things, books, web pages, squeeze pages, webinars. So Karen's been able to take that all off my shoulders. It's made my life so much easier. I've been able to encourage and motivate and work alongside Karen with making phone calls and contacting people, and I've been able to do all the videos, which is not something Karen particularly likes doing. And between us, we've been able to pull our strengths together. And believe it or not, we were thinking about this in December. We both took some time off over Christmas and we came back on the 4th of January. We've launched it and we've already got 10 people signed up, ready to go on the 11th of January. And we're really pleased with that results. But I'm doing this video because I've realised there's loads of people out there who I know who I've really let down because I haven't told you about this. So I'm doing this video I'm going to put it out on my newsletter. I'm going to put it out on my social media. I want to ask you as my friends, please copy and paste it onto your timeline. Send it to your friends. If you know anybody out there who is got a fabulous story to tell, who is an amazing person in their business, and they're not getting the customers they want because they're not been able to communicate with clarity and confidence what makes them so amazing, and you think their critic is the thing that's stopping them from getting out there and doing more of what they love, then please share this video. Last thing I want to tell you about, there's another thing. If you've been thinking about working with either Karen or myself, we are giving away £2,700 worth of vouchers to work with us. You can, as long as you can use those vouchers for our events that we're running in 2016, and there's various amounts of different kinds. You're going to work one-to-one or come to our retreat. So again, it's for £97. You're going to get your £75 Wealth Dynamics. You're going to have the support and on-hand support, motivation and inspiration for 21 days. And if you want to know more about the work we do, you can get discounts off some of our events. So that leads me to say, if you want to do more of what you love and ditch the critic who says you can't, then do check out the website www.themousethatroars.com/critic and find out how you can manage your critic this January. Thanks very much for listening.